Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck. So a million people have asked me, Jeff, when are you going to make a lasagna in the Instant Pot? And the answer is never. But I did recently come across a video that inspired me to do something that is using lasagna noodles, but I'm not going to do that typical lasagna in a pan thing because I'd rather just do that in the oven. No, instead I'm going to do something that's a little more fun and creative, and I think you're all going to go nuts over it. It's called Lasagna Rolls, and you're gonna see, it's almost like a jelly roll, but with lasagna and with meat sauce and cheese inside of it. And it's super fun, and it's gonna be my first pot and pot recipe. So guys, get ready for lasagna rolls. So because our lasagna noodles won't quite fit in our Instant Pot, we're gonna boil them on the stove. And now that our water's come to a boil, we're gonna add a whole box of lasagna noodles. And also a little bit of salt. And a drop of olive oil so they don't stick together. And let's make sure we submerge them in the water after a few moments of being in there so they start to bend. And we're going to cook this for about 10 minutes or whatever the instructions on the box say. And while our noodles are boiling, we're going to take one Spanish or yellow onion, chopped up. And now let's make our ricotta mixture by using 16 ounces of ricotta cheese, and we're going to put that in a nice sized mixing bowl. 1 egg, which we're going to crack, obviously. We're going to use 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, a 1/2 tablespoon of dried parsley, and mix that all up together in the mixing bowl so everything gets nice and combined. Then, after mixing for a little bit, we're going to add a little bit of salt, about a 1/2 teaspoon, and mix that up. Perfect. And then just put a lid on it and pop it into the fridge to just set a little bit. And now our noodles are done boiling, so now let's turn the heat off and drain them. Alrighty, and once drained, let's give them a cool rinse of water. And then let's take our noodles and just make sure we kind of straighten them out from one another and just make sure that they're not really crumpled up, you know, just like the perfect noodle. And if we see any that are like kind of funky or ripped, just discard them. That's why we're making the entire box. It just makes sense because if there are any errors or anything like that, just throw them away. There should be plenty of noodles for this. In our Instant Pot, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And hit saute so it's on the more function, and then wait until it reads hot. And now that we're reading hot, we're going to add our onions. And stir that around in there for a couple of minutes until they become translucent. And then when it turns like a light brown color like that after a few minutes, we're going to add a tablespoon of crushed garlic. Alright, after about another minute of stirring with the onions and the garlic, we're going to add a pound of a ground beef. And let's really stir it around when we initially put it in, so nothing really sticks to the bottom of the pan. Deglaze a little bit, and deglaze means just scrape it with like a spatula or the wooden spoon you're cooking with, and just make sure that all of our meat gets nice and brown. And when it looks to be about halfway brown, we're going to add a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and a teaspoon of seasoned salt. Use seasoned salt, and then just mix that up with it. We'll also add a few dashes of black pepper as well. And once our meat is starting to look really nice and browned, we're going to add about a 40-ounce jar or so of a good marinara sauce. And I'm using, as usual, Victoria White Linen, which is my favorite. You can get it at Costco, a lot of supermarkets carry it, or you can buy it on Amazon, and I'll link to it in the recipe. And stir that all up nicely with our meat. I'm not going to need to add any water to this because the juices from the meat are going to go into it as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to secure our lid, go on sealing position, keep warm cancel, and then hit manual, and we're going to cook this just for 4 minutes, guys. That's it. And while that's cooking, let's start to assemble our lasagna rolls by taking our lasagna noodles and putting them over here. And taking our ricotta cheese mixture out of the fridge after it had a chance to set. And let's use some mozzarella cheese as well. So to assemble our lasagna rolls, we're going to take 1 strip of lasagna at a time and just lay it on a flat surface. Then we're going to go to our ricotta mixture and use like a spatula of some sort, like a rubber one, and just basically lay it on our lasagna noodle and just paste it with it. Not too thick, but just the right amount. There we go, perfect. And now we're going to top that off with some of our shredded mozzarella cheese and just sprinkle it throughout. Wonderful, and now we're going to roll it up, just like so. Presto, 1 lasagna roll down. Now let's do it with the rest of these. And now that we're all set, let's do a quick release. And our pin drops, so let's take the lid off and There's our beautiful sauce. Now let's just stir it and let it thicken up. We're just gonna keep this on the low setting and just let it, just simmer and thicken up a little bit while we continue making our beautiful lasagna rolls. Look at this, guys, looking good. And there we go. We should have about 10 lasagna rolls when all said and done. Now here comes the fun pot and pot part of the meal. I'm using an Ecovana double inner pot thing. And you can buy this, but I'm going to link it in my recipe so you can easily purchase it. It's really handy for this, and you're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to layer the sauce inside and then layer the lasagna rolls inside as well. So easy. Watch. Okay, I'm going to unlock it by pressing down here. There we go. It's going to unlatch, and this is a little carrying case it comes with. And you'll see that it's two-tiered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid off the first one, just like this, and now I'll take the bottom one off as well, and there we go, 2 of them just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon in some of my wonderful, delicious sauce here right into the bottom of each pot so that we create a base for our lasagna noodles to sit on top of. And there we go. We just want to cover the bottom of our pan so that the lasagna noodles don't stick to it. So now what we want to do is we want to one by one take our roll-ups and just layer them nicely inside of our little pans. And there we go. I have about 5 of them in there. So now let's take some more sauce and let's drizzle it all over the tops of our lasagna. Perfect. And now let's cover it with some more cheese. Sprinkling of some mozzarella all throughout. Perfect. Let's put the cover back on, and now let's do the other one. Our second layer is done, so now let's put our first pot, and it'll go right on top of our second pot, just like that, and let's just seal it right back up again. There we go, sealed up again, and it's in a perfect carrying case fashion, so just set that aside, and let's go to our sauce here, and just take whatever we have left, and just put it in a container, and we can save it for a rainy day. And let's just give our pot a quick rinse. And a quick dry all around. So let's add our cleaned and dried liner pot back to the Instant Pot, and then let's put the trivet in there. And we're now going to add 1 cup of water. And then let's put our Ecovana pot on top of the trivet, and make sure these 2 little edges are facing this way right toward the back directly, otherwise the lid won't close properly. So you'll see it closes perfectly when I do it like this. Make sure it's in sealing position, and we're gonna hit manual, and we're gonna go up for 10 minutes on this one, guys, just 10 minutes. So some of you guys might be questioning me right now and saying, but Jeff, I thought you couldn't put dairy in the Instant Pot when it's pressure cooking. And you'd be right about that, you shouldn't do that. However, this is a little different because we're doing a pot and pot method, which means that we're not cooking the dairy directly in the Instant Pot, we're cooking it in a pot within. So basically the Instant Pot right now is serving kind of as an oven, and those pots are basically serving as the vessel for cooking our delicious lasagna rolls. So it's completely fine in a situation where it's pot and pot. So you're gonna see in just a few minutes when it's done how beautiful it's gonna look. And we just finished cooking, so we're going to do a quick release. Alright, let's get the lid off. And there's our pot. It's going to be hot, so use gloves and you can take it out. And let's get our lid off. And there we have it. Our beautiful lasagna rolls all cooked and all full of cheese and sauce. So let's serve some of this up. And we're going to just transfer each of these beautiful lasagna rolls right to a serving dish. And there we have it, our beautiful lasagna rolls. Let's take a look at that baby. Oh, doesn't that look nice? So easy and convenient. You don't have to break the shells like before. And look at that, it makes like a perfect size of helping up lasagna without having to do any of the layering. So let's try this guy out. Presto. Let's try this beautiful, beautiful piece of lasagna roll out. Ooh, look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, the cheese is just oozing out of the side when I cut into it. And it cuts up real nice. Look at that. Let's give it a try. Wow. This might be the new way to make lasagna, guys. It's super easy, and basically each roll is the equivalent of a slice of lasagna. It's absolutely perfect in terms of portion control and size. The sauce is absolute heaven. Thank you, Victoria White Linen. Mixed with the meat and the garlic and the onions, it's absolute perfection. That Ecovana pot is magical with what it does, how it cooks everything like an oven without having to turn on the oven. It's like a seriously phenomenal lasagna. I can think of so many cheesy things to say right now. I love Italian food, and man oh man oh man, I love these lasagna rolls. Mwah! Guys, for more recipes like these, if you enjoy these videos, I have a whole array of them. I range from seafood, to meats, to vegetarian, to pastas, to everything. Go to pressureluckcooking.com. It's all there. You're gonna love it. I promise you, there's tons of stuff there for you. If you want even more content with live videos once a week, and funny pictures and, you know, questions, asking what everybody's cooking and getting some tips, go to facebook.com/pressureluckcooking. I have all the social channels. I have YouTube, I have Instagram, I have all that stuff, so feel free to follow me there. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm telling you guys, lasagna rolls are the new way to go in the Instant Pot when it comes down to cooking lasagna. So good and so convenient. Yes.